Hello, and welcome to another NS9 postgame show powered by Permani Brothers. I'm Cody. I'm going solo today. A little solo radio for your ears. Bucs weren't great today, right? The Pirates lose 10-2 on a Martin Perez start that just went from bad to worse to just, put him out of his misery already. But before we get into it, we have to thank our sponsor, BetOnline. BetOnline is your number one source for all your summer sports this summer, from MLB, golf, NBA, and playoffs stats. All the latest stats, news, and scores available to follow your favorite teams. Get the latest odds and lines, including the latest team matchups, player props, odds, and just about every sport out there. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to get in on the action. Bet online, where the game starts. So, the game started at 1:10 in Milwaukee. Pirates, Brewers. The Bucs, trying their best to be a decent team, I guess. But, you got the manager in the way, the GM's in the way. Everybody's in the way of these players wanting to win. Because that's all we hear from the players, right? They just want to win. They think they got it, And then, you have some roster moves that happened that I want to get into as a little, preface to this whole game. We DFA Roansy Contreras, who, maybe he earned that DFA. He wasn't playing well. They really wanted him to be a starter. Wasn't doing well in the bullpen, right? So they DFA him. And then, you have the whole pitching situation is just a mess. Ryder Ryan comes up, which we needed. We needed a guy from the bullpen, right? And then you have the situation with yesterday. It's announced Carmen Mlodzinski's coming back up. It's like, okay, what's the move? Like, you just told us you're doing a 6-man rotation. Now, how are you going to fit this in? Who are you going to get rid of? And they get rid of a starting pitcher. So you're not doing a 6-man rotation. And you get rid of a guy like Roansy for what? One start of that 6-man rotation that you said you're going to go with? And Roansy, he's had chance after chance. I don't think he's a lost cause. What? He's only 24. He could have been fixed, I feel, but this team, year 5 of the rebuild can't be waiting on people to get started unless they play first base, But anyway, that's my preface to this game today. And it just wasn't pretty, right? The Bucs come out, and I think we scored early, didn't we? Let me get the box score out. We scored in the third, and that was great. We get a run. Kutch reached, and then he reached on a infield single, I believe. I think that was that same, because he went 2 for 2 early, right? So he reaches, gets hit over to third on a single by, I believe, Brian Reynolds. And then sac fly by Connor Joe DiMaggio. He just gets the job done, brings in a run. Connor Joe does his job. They said on the broadcast that I believe he's leading the team in RBIs. And he's only played 33 games. I may be wrong with leading the team, but he has a significant amount of RBIs while not being an everyday starter. And that is telling. So then, we're like, oh, we got some runs early. Everything's great. Then Martin Perez comes in the third. And I think he gave up at least 2 home runs in that inning, if not 3. It was just a barrage. that came out of nowhere. Martin Perez has been this guy that's, almost a cornerstone, you might say, of this pitching staff, at least before Skeens came up, right? He was consistent. He'd give you a solid start. I'm sorry I haven't gotten to the comments either. I've just been holding this in. But Perez has been solid. He has had stability. He has been the stability of this pitching staff, other than, Jared Jones. But he can't be stable because the manager has to make sure he only pitches 5 innings and 59 pitches. But I digress. And then he comes in and he gives up all these home runs. And it's just like, wow, you're sitting there in the 4th inning, he gives up another one. And you're like, so this is done, right? Like, they're going to pull him. No. Nope. He pitches, I believe, until the 6th inning. Pitches into the 6th, maybe? I can't remember precisely, but it says he went 5 innings, gave up 11 hits, 9 earned runs, 5 home runs, a career high, by the way. And he only had 4 strikeouts. And I believe I saw Andrew Destin tweet that he had thrown 33 balls for strikes or something along those lines, but none of them were whiffs. 33 batted balls, I think it was, and no whiffs. And then he threw a ball that got a whiff immediately after I read that. So he may have had 1 or 2 whiffs today, and that's just not, you can't do that. And then, Joey Bart comes out to try and calm him down, give him a breather and everything. And then you could tell he's just PO'd, man. Just doesn't want to be out there. Thank you, Jim, for confirming. 2 whiffs. That's just, compared to what this pitching staff has been doing, that's abysmal. But what's even more irritating than the start that Perez had is the fact that Derek Shelton let it go on for another at least 2 innings. And that's what I just don't understand. I get it. The bullpen is lacking right now. Aroldis Chapman's dealing with a broken fingernail. Can't pitch with a broken fingernail. I get it. We're using these guys up. And it's like, you just brought up Mlodzinski, give him some time. And finally they do put Ryder Ryan out there. Ryder Ryan does well, Well, they put out Ortiz first. I apologize. Ortiz came in. He did pretty well. He at one point had 4 straight strikeouts. He ends his outing of relief with 5 strikeouts. He went 2 innings, gave up 2 hits. He had 1 earned run. He had 2 walks. I can't ask for much more out of Luis Ortiz. That is solid from him. That's all I need from Luis Ortiz, right? And I see Jim saying, games out of reach, got to get the 5 out of them. It's like, well, if the game's out of reach when you're only down by 4, I think you got to reevaluate what's going on in the clubhouse. Yeah. CD says Derek Shelton's complete waste as a manager. Chortle says it was over. We needed the innings. I get it. You need the innings because they don't know how to manage a pitching staff. It goes to what I said at the beginning here. They're like, oh, we're going to go with this 6-man rotation, right? Let's do the 6-man rotation. And then 2 days later, abandon that idea completely. Like, just make up your mind. Do you not know the health of these guys? Like, I know Mlodzinski was out with an injury. He went down. Ryder Ryan, I believe, also had an injury. Like, do you not know how healthy these guys are when you're bringing them up or when you want to bring them up? Or is the owner trying to save $30,000 again? Just the way this pitching staff has been managed is so beyond me. Like, it's terrible. So terrible. But then, like I said, Ryder Ryan comes in, pitches well, doesn't give up any hits, gets a strikeout, does his job. Played well. Good job, Ryder. On the offensive side, I mean, I had mentioned the Joe sack fly. Jim was able to confirm he does lead the team with 22 RBIs. Thank you, Jim, for confirming that for me. And it's good to see Joe out there, right? He needs to be out there. We've been saying this for weeks. Joe needs to be the everyday starter. I mean, to keep trotting Tellez out there, who at the end of the game gets a chance, game's out of reach, might as well let our worst hitter hit, right? And that's fine. It was 10-2. 10-2, like an 8-run deficit to me is out of reach. But like 5 or 6, especially in the middle innings, you're in the middle innings. You got at least 4 innings left. At least. You had time to come back. Even if it was 1 run an inning, you had time to come back. But anyway, I digress there. But yeah, so total, we had how many hits? We had 8 total hits. I mean, Bart had 2. He had some pretty good hits, pretty good at bats. Nick Gonzalez had a hit again. And I love watching Nick Gonzalez take at bats because he's aggressive. And it's what, these coaches have been preaching to the media, at least, that we want them to be aggressive. Nick Gonzalez is your guy if you want an aggressive at bat. And then you have Andrew McCutchen, who in the later innings, in the 7th, hits a solo shot. We love that for Kutch because he has been getting unlucky at the plate, right? He's getting the hard hit balls. He's just not finding a gap. He's finding a glove almost every time. And it was frustrating to watch. And I think Kutch knows it's frustrating, but it's good to see him take light of it. When a play doesn't go his way, he's like, well, like that's just been my luck the last week and a half or so. So to see Kutch get a home run today was good. Hopefully he keeps that momentum. And he went 3 for 4. I think finally he's got the monkey off his back and he's able to get these balls in gaps. That's all we could ask for, and I think it's happening with him right now. Let's see. Swinsky came in. I didn't even know Swinsky came in for a pinch hit. That's how I was just so out of this game after what happened with Perez. It was so frustrating. So frustrating. Chortle says Joe had a decent defensive first base play on Frelick's bunt too. Yes, he did. I know Michael A. Taylor also, I believe he robbed a home run there at the end of the game. Jim says Kutch is back. Yes, he is, Jim. Chortle also says, to be fair, Rowanzi can go multiple innings. I don't know why we wouldn't have kept him over, say, Nicolas. And that's exactly. Rowanzi is not great. But to be fair, he has the ability to go multiple innings. And when you're going to be, sparse in the bullpen, why not have guys that can go multiple innings? Instead, you keep a guy like Nicolas who, can't find a strike ever. Like, the dude has been getting killed out there. And I don't understand. I don't understand the management of this team, just the multiple upon multiple batting orders. It's literally a little league team out there. It's literally a little league team. I've said it before on post games that it's like, Derek Shelton's like, you know what? Let's let little Johnny bat first today. Although we do have a solid leadoff now with Andrew McCutchen. Finally, Andrew McCutchen does not seem to be leaving that leadoff spot. But, it's like so many different lineups. Nobody's able to find consistency. And then Brad, he says, don't forget the terrible roster construction. And it's true. We faced a guy today that could have been on this team in Sanchez. And guess what? Pretty sure he hit a home run. I want to confirm that. Yeah. Sanchez hit a home run today. He's been hitting home runs for them. Gary Sanchez should have been who we signed over Yasmani Grandal, over even throwing all that money at Aroldis Chapman. Like, you got to make sure you're throwing the money where it's needed. And it's like, obviously now I'm glad that we have a guy like Chapman, and, the bullpen has a little bit of depth, even if it's not used correctly. But I'm glad that we have that. But then it's like, you didn't spend where you needed to at first base, at catcher. Although they had everybody convinced Henry Davis had it figured out, right? Everybody was told Henry Davis is fine. He can catch. And I agree. Defensively, Henry Davis can catch. But we've seen, obviously, and the team has as well, that he cannot hit. So that is why he is in AAA. And we have two catchers who, one was, an outcast on his own team last year in Joey Bart, who gets thrown our way after he was DFA'd by San Francisco. And then you have just Monty Grandal, who should probably be retired and not playing Major League Baseball. Although he is hitting home runs, But it took forever for him to come up to the Major League team because he was riddled with injuries in spring. But, yeah, just not a great game today. I'm trying to get this to 20 minutes. Let's see. Jim says Ben Cherington's a loser. I couldn't agree more. Chortle says $15 million on Tellez and Chapman. You could have maybe gotten an actual free agent. And that's where a lot of this frustration goes, is that you spend a lot of money on major leaguers who just aren't good. You spent money on major leaguers who aren't on a team for a reason. Meanwhile, you have guys like Rhys Hoskins, who goes to the Brewers. Gary Sanchez goes to the Brewers. I forget who else was out there, but those are the two big names that everybody's like, why did we not go for them? Why did we not take $15 million and try to make it work for those guys on a one-year deal? Brad Krause asks, is this rebuild a bust? With what's out there on the major league roster, it feels like it. I really like what we have in the farm and what has come up already, at least pitching-wise. And that's really all it is the pitching. This rebuilt our pitching staff, right? We haven't found a hitter. We really haven't found a hitter with this rebuild in the farm, and that's frustrating. And Brad also says he's willing to go on record and say, yes, this is a busted rebuild. Josh says Grandal isn't too bad. I agree. He's not too bad, but he's old. He was injured for the first month of the season because he's old, and he can't run faster than 2 miles per hour. I know you don't expect a catcher to have speed. That's fine, but the name of the game today is speed. That's why everybody loves O'Neal Cruz, because he has the speed to be able to steal second. The big names in this game today can steal bases. Mike Trout, when he was healthy, could steal bases. Shohei Ohtani can steal bases. Ellie De La Cruz can steal bases. That's what he's kind of known for. You got to collect bases to eventually get runs. Let's see. David says the idea is to make a lot of moves to provide talking points and false hope. The quality is of no concern. Thanks, Ben. Right. Exactly. Like, it's a lot of talking, not a lot of doing. It's a lot of, let's just sign a bunch of guys. Let's trade for Edward Olivares and then barely play him because we know he can't really be an everyday guy. But we're going to trade for him anyway. Mark says Gonzalez will put it together. I agree. I think Gonzalez is probably a bright spot right now. And he has been since he's come up. Chortle, did we ever find out why Cruz seemed slower today? I didn't see anything about that. Maybe they asked Shelton about it post-game, but that's something that I'd look to our beat writers for. Pirates have 16 stolen bases. There are players that have as many as we do collectively as a team. Yes. Yes, there are. And it's very frustrating whenever, you get told, like, it goes back to what David said, a lot of things happening, a lot of ideas, we have a lot of hope in these guys. We believe in these guys, but that's as far as it goes. They have a lot of belief, but then there's no work being done to be like, all right, we believe in you to do this. Now let's help you to do it. It's just cannon fodder to the media. That's all it's been. Josh asked, do you think they will bring up Bay soon? Bay's been doing well. He's been doing well in the minors. I'm not sure where you put him. I mean, maybe he takes at bats from Sawinski. I don't know. We have a lot of outfielders right now. I know he can play infield, but we kind of have enough infielders right now too. I'm not sure what to do with Bay. I think he's in a awkward spot. But Chortle says, bring up Bay, send Sawinski down. Sawinski needs everyday playing time, and he's not getting it right now. That's a good point. That's a very good point that maybe Sawinski just needs everyday at-bats to get better. And right now, you can't do that on the major league team. So maybe you're right. Send him down, bring up Bay to replace him. That's not a terrible idea. All right, we're going to wrap this up soon, but Matt Helmer, Charrington is incompetent. He has set this team back for years unless we get new management committed to winning. And then Jim says, trade Bay to the KBO for some Samsung Galaxy phones. I mean, hey, we can sell those phones for some cash to sign a decent free agent probably. But yeah, so today's game, just a stinker, an all-around stinker. Can't get anything positive out of it except for Kutch is hot, and I think Nicky G is going to be all right. That's the only positives I can bring from this game. So thank you guys. Sorry, no sandwiches today, but if you enjoy our coverage or if you enjoy us talking about the team, we don't cover the team. We talk about the team. We're fans. We're not beat writers. We're not, we don't do that. We're fans of the team that like to share our opinion to other fans, and we have these therapy sessions. And if you enjoy these therapy sessions, we would love if you became a member. If not, doesn't matter. You still get everything that we provide to you for free. But if you do, if you want to be a member, rookie member, all-star, MVP, you get a couple little perks. Just like Jim's name is a different color and he's got an icon next to his name. That's stuff that comes along with being a member. And then if you become an MVP, you get put into our monthly giveaways, which I believe we've announced. I don't know. We almost forgot about the giveaway this month, but we got it together. We're giving away, I believe, a Paul Skeens jersey, like a T-shirt jersey. And you have your choice between like a City Connect one or a normal one. Giveaway was last night. Thank you, Jim. But that's what we gave away. We gave away stuff like that, plus some Permane Brothers gift cards. I think every giveaway, we give away one of these gift cards. It's $25. And that could be yours if you become an MVP member. But if you don't want to, no hard feelings. We still enjoy having these talks with you guys. We enjoy, being able to vent about this team with everybody. But if you'd like, become a member. We also have the tailgate coming up in June 22nd. It's coming up fast. June 22nd at noon in Gold Lot 1. It is Andrew McCutchen bobblehead night versus the Tampa Bay Rays. And that will also be sponsored and catered by Permani Brothers. Make sure you RSVP. The RSVP link is in the description below. Actually, don't think it's in the description of this video because I put this show together very quickly, but it will be there eventually. If you check back on other shows, you can find the link to RSVP, to the tailgate. It's going to be a great time. We had a great time last year, and with Permani Brothers coming along to cater, it's only going to get bigger, and we're going to have a great time. Just make sure you RSVP so we make sure everybody gets a free sandwich. And I don't get to give away sandwiches today, but I get to remind you that you can get a sandwich on the 22nd for free. Chortle says, I'm finally back in the U.S., and I've yet to be able to enter the Permanis giveaway. We need a win. We need a win to do that. But anyway, thank you guys. If there's anything I've missed, Jim, throw it in the comments now. I'm going to drag this out, but I think we're good. Thank you all for joining us today. It was a tough one, but I will see you guys. I don't know the next time I'll be on a post game, but we'll have you tonight for NS9 Live with the guys, with Jim, with Tyler, with Donardo. They'll be talking about all the recent moves and what's going on with the Pirates better than I can. So be sure to tune into that 9-ish tonight. And other than that, let's keep bucking around. This isn't bucking around. It used to be my show. But let's keep rooting on the Pirates. Let's hope that they figure it out. And if they don't, we all just come here. We all come here to be sickos, as Sean says. So thank you guys. Have a good one. I'll catch you the next time.
Hey, you all. Thank you for watching. I know we try to provide the most entertaining content that we can, and we'd love to spread it to as many people as possible. So I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but if you could take the 5 seconds to like this video and subscribe to the page, it helps out so much more than you know. Thank you, and let's go Bucs.